Hey guys, welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the Colt 1911 railgun in 22 long rifle. Now this is a great little 22 pistol made under license from Colt by Walther in Germany. There's three models of the pistol: the Government, the Railgun and the Gold Cup. Now the differences are only minor. If you do want to have a look at the technical specs, I'll put the link to their website under this review and you can log on and have a look at them in your own time. The pistol itself comes with the case that you see before you, the manual, and also one magazine. And it's a 10-shot magazine, steel or aluminium, so it's fairly good quality. It's not just plastic, and fairly easy to load as well. You can actually get 12-shot magazines for these, so if you have a primary producer category H license or a category H license as a collector here in Australia, you're not limited to the 10-round magazine that sport shooters are, so you can get 12-shot magazines for them, so that may be an added bonus. Features I like about the railgun over the other two models is that you have the skeletonized trigger. You also have the Picatinny rail underneath, so if you wanted to add like a laser or a torch or something like that, a light, that'll enable you to do so. You've also got the combat hammer. And also there's, as standard, you've got checkered grips, which is, you can see on the front of the manual here, that's the checkered grips. But I've actually put a set of hoe grips on, which I find a little bit more comfortable. Now the actual sights too, you can see that they're the white dots on the sights, so that also enables you to get a little bit quicker sight alignment in my view, and that's why obviously I like it. Now the safety of the firearm is also fairly impressive. So when you actually rack the slide back and then forward, obviously the hammer's cocked and it's ready to be fired. Now we won't dry fire it, obviously being a rimfire firearm we don't want to do that. With the safety, okay, at the back of the frame here, you've got to push this safety in with your hand to be able to fire it. So like if you can see here, I don't push it and pull the trigger, push on the trigger, nothing will happen. That hammer will not come forward, okay? You must grip around the handle of the firearm and then pull the trigger, and then the hammer will come forward from there. So just like on their big brother, like their 9mm and the 45 versions of the 1911 from Colt, exactly the same features. So fairly good there as safety. You've also got the safety lever to the rear, so you can just flick that up. And if you do flick that up, then you just can't fire the firearm whatsoever, even if you push in the safety at the back of the frame. Okay, you also can't move the slide as well. So there's some pretty good safety features on this little pistol, that's for sure. Okay, the other thing I do like about this pistol is that after you fire the last shot, unlike a lot of other rimfire pistols, the actual slide will hold open. So you do know once you've fired off your last shot from the magazine, the slide does stay open to the rear, which is pretty good. The barrel also is 5 inches, so for those of us here in Australia, using this pistol is okay for sports shooting because it's over the minimum required length. The one thing that I do find a little bit frustrating, and it's only a minor thing, is the heaviness of the trigger, and the trigger pull in particular. So when you actually pull the trigger, I think it weighs, the pull is about 6 pounds, so that's fairly heavy, and those of you who are into sports shooting will know that it's probably about 3 times the weight of the pull that you really want. Now I've heard from other people that have used this pistol for quite some time that the trigger does get a little bit smoother and lighten up as you put more and more rounds through it. However, being a 1911, obviously you'll be able to take it to a gunsmith and have that trigger lightened up, so that may help improve with accuracy and so forth down the track. In saying that, with it being a Colt 1911, there's various parts that are interchangeable with any other 1911. So on this particular model, the parts that are interchangeable are the thumb safety, the grip safety, the disconnector, the hammer and strut, the sear, the mainspring housing and the internal parts, the sear spring, the grips and the grip screws, magazine catch, the trigger, the hammer, the sear and mainspring housing retainer pins. Okay, so any of those can be actually replaced with other makers of 1911 parts, so that may be a bit handy. As I said, the only thing I've replaced on here is just the grips. I got rid of the checkered grips and then went on to the hoe grips from there. The other good feature about the pistol is it doesn't seem to be too fussy with ammunition. It'll shoot standard velocity, it'll shoot high velocity, no problems at all. It'll even shoot the hyper velocity like the lasers and the CCI stingers. Personally, I don't really want to use a lot of that hyper velocity ammunition. I like to stick just to the high velocity. It just gives me that little bit extra knockdown when I'm shooting silhouette competitions, so personally that's a little bit of a bonus for me. Now the approximate price of one of these pistols here in Australia, looking around the $800 mark, so it's not a super expensive pistol, but it's not super cheap either. But you do get the quality with it. It's very well made. It does feel the weight, and it's definitely got the look of the Big Brother 1911s, like the 9mm and the 45s. So overall, it's just a really good pistol. Obviously, being a 1911, you can get a variety of different holsters for it. There's absolute hundreds of different holster manufacturers out there that make holsters for this particular pistol. And being the 22, it's no different to the 9mm or the 45s. You'll definitely be able to find universal holsters out there that will suit it quite well. Okay, I'll just show you how to strip the weapon so that you can do maintenance on it. First of all, we'll take out the magazine. At the muzzle here, you'll see there's a barrel bushing, and there's also a recoil spring plug. Now with the recoil spring plug, all you need to do is just push that in and then just turn the barrel bushing anti-clockwise. You only have to turn it probably about 10 to 20 degrees, not too far, and you'll hear it click. Okay, and then just keep your hand over the end because the force of the recoil spring is going to push everything out. Okay, so that just comes out. So there's your barrel bushing there. There's your recoil spring plug there. Your recoil spring. Next thing you want to do is you want to move the slide to the rear. Okay, once it's fully to the rear, just move it just forward till where you've got here, the actual slide stop, there's an indent behind that, so you want that to marry up even with the indent here on the actual slide. Okay, so the frame and the slide, you want that to marry up, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the slide stop, which is this, actually off. Okay, so for that we just turn it over. Now I just use a 3mm pin punch to do this. Just on the other side, I just push down on it, a couple of taps, turn it back over, and you just pull that out with your hand. Okay, so there's your slide stop there. Then we're going to take the slide off, so bring it to the rear, and then just all you want to do is just lift up. Okay, you can just do it gently, you don't have to do it hard, and then you'll find that the slide will just wiggle off the frame. Okay, now the last bit is a recoil spring guide, which is just underneath, and then that just comes out there. So that's it completely stripped down. You'll see there that the barrel is permanently connected, so that's just there. Okay, you don't no need to take the barrel off or anything like that. So you can, on the slide, you can clean out the ejector and so forth like that, and then just perform maintenance here, clean out the barrel, different parts around here that you get the grit associated with firing the 22, and get that out of the way. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just put it back together again. And that's it, it's back together again. One thing you want to do obviously is once you assemble any firearm, is just do basically like a test and just make sure that it is functioning and then you haven't put anything back incorrectly. So the slide comes back, holds open with the magazine in there. Slide release works. Hammers back. Check the safety. And you can see that that's all functioning. Okay, so the day's getting away now, so we'll get out to the range and we'll put this little pistol through its paces. Now what we'll do is we'll have a look at the loading of the magazine. As you can see on the magazine, there's a little button on the side. Your finger can depress to pull down, and the rounds can slip in fairly easily. You'll notice too that once they're loaded, you can see there they're actually they look sort of stacked unevenly. I don't think there's anything wrong with the magazine, that's just how they are. Okay, we'll just use 10 rounds of CCI standard ammo, just freehand, 7 metres, see the accuracy of the weapon. Okay, so I've loaded up the mini mag hollow points. These are the 36 grain hollow points from CCI, high velocity. So we'll see how that functions. So yeah, no jams there, certainly reliable. Now we'll run 10 rounds through at rapid fire, just to show the reliability of the cycling. So as you can see, like no jams with it, it's very, very reliable. The extraction on it is perfect. Just like most Colts, very reliable handgun. Okay, so you can see here that was just 10 rounds there with the CCI standard. And then there's 10 rounds there with the CCI high velocity. So pretty much the same groupings. I'm certainly not an expert shot, but that's good enough accuracy for my needs. Hey guys, so that was my review on the Colt 1911 railgun in 22. It's a great little handgun, as you've seen. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please remember to subscribe online. Ozzie Reviews is my channel.